gosh. Okay. Here it goes. Alright. I've been recording, by the way. Haha.
Really, bro? You're gonna sacrifice your soul to do it.
What, man?
I can't believe you've done this. This is not the way.
It is the way, man. It is. Alright, so welcome back, everyone. This.
Yeah, we'll assume it's a welcome back. Who knows? Maybe somebody just clicked on this video randomly. Hello, how are you doing?
Oh yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up, new guy? Make sure to like, favorite, comment, subscribe.
Look, no, don't do none of that. Leave a comment and put feet sandwich in the comments below. Then I know that you watched this video.
No.
Feet sandwich.
No, you have to answer this question. Do you take a shit without any clothes on?
That might be too much for people to understand.
What? I mean,
you know what? That's fine. When people watch our videos, they'll understand, but they don't. They're gonna be like, "What? What did you just say?" All right.
God.
So, top 5 best games of 2021. All right. I'm gonna start it off. If that's fine with you.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, number 5 for me. So, oh my god. First, what I would like to say is number 5 would be Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart if I played it.
What?
But I have not played it, so I cannot put it in my number 5 best. So it's like a spiritual successor. It should be number 5.
When did you purchase this game?
I purchased it last year when I purchased my PS5.
Yeah, but when was this? We need a time frame of when you didn't play this game.
Look, no, you don't need a time frame. Just know that I haven't had time. Shut up. So my
you don't even know what inside the case looks like.
It's probably a game in there, I assume. So, anyways, my actual number 5 for best game of 2021 is Tales of Arise. So Tales of Arise is a Tales game from the Tales series that you should know. Tales games in the past were very action-based RPGs with a bunch of combos, and most Tales games also had multiplayer. It allows you to play with couch co-op with up to about 4 people. And that's how I originally got introduced into Tales, because back in the days, before online existed, I know some of you youngsters probably don't know, but back in the days, you just had to go to your friend's house to play video games together, and you had to be in the same room. I mean, there were other ways to do it with LAN parties, but we're not going to get into that. So Tales, the original Tales game that I played was Tales of Symphonia. And the one I played to the completion was Tales of Abyss. That was like my first Tales game, technically. And it was me, Elio, Karam, and Sukino. And we just played together. I loved it. Like, to play a 4-player RPG with you and 3 of your other friends, and then we made sure that we always played together. So we would only play when we were all together to play it. It's kind of like if you have a D&D session, right? You only advance together. Mm-hmm. So nobody can go off and like grind and get, super strong. We would only play together. Mm-hmm. And that experience with that game just made Tales like a staple of video games. So every Tales game that came out, I would play it. But the problem was, as you got older, it became more difficult to do that. And they never added an online feature for that. So they continue to have multiplayer. In certain games, they had mechanics that would make it to where you would link with another character. So instead of it being a 4-player, it would technically be 2 players, and the AI would be controlling one of the characters you're linked to. And then in later games, they just kind of screwed over the multiplayer. And then in this game, Tales of Rise, there's no multiplayer whatsoever. So I already have issues with this game because I am a Tales player and I played the past Tales. So coming in, I'm just like, okay, hopefully this game is really good and it justifies not having multiplayer. And as I play it, the game is good, right? The story for this game is great. I love the story. I love every character. Initially, the characters are not really getting along very well. You have characters that are kind of annoying, but it's because of what they've been through, and it's kind of like good storytelling. I feel because it feels more real. Because I mean, if you meet somebody and y'all had to like quest or go somewhere together, I mean, this is a totally new person. Y'all might bump heads. Y'all aren't gonna just get along and go on this great adventure and be like la-di-da, into the sunset. Realistically, you might have issues with this person, or they might have issues with you.
Some type of conflict, of course.
Yeah, it's like later on, once you get closer, you figure out why they have those issues, why they have this baggage, why they are the way they are. And it becomes more understanding as to why they were the way they were when you first met. And that's just good storytelling, right? Mm-hmm. So the characters are great. The gameplay is super good as well. Again, coming from playing past games, initially when I was playing this game, I felt that the combat was a little lacking because they changed so much. So now there's no guard button. In previous Tale games, you could block, you could attack, and if you were blocking and you press up, you would jump. So you could technically jump and attack in the air. And then you had your arch button, and then you had, I think, like the menu button where you can go to your item menu and use items, yada yada. And that was like basic Tales controls. Eventually, as the Tales games progressed, they added in more mechanics and more uses of other buttons and stuff like that. But they changed the combat up every Tales game to make them unique. So no Tales game plays exactly the same. So in this one, they made you have 3 attack buttons, which were just your arts, and then a normal attack button. So you have a normal attack and then 3 arts. So you could only do normal attacks, and you had 3 arts that you could set, which are like your special attacks. And that was it. So I was just like, oh, this feels so limiting. Eventually, as you progress, you start to unlock things. So you unlock the ability to have your second loadout, which allows you to put 3 other skills. So now you have the art buttons, and then you have the art buttons while you're holding L2. That goes to your second set of skills. So this gives you more skills. And then you unlock the ability to use skills in the air. So then you have your 3 skills on the ground and your 3 skills in the air. Then you have your 3 skills on the ground when you hold L2 and your 3 skills in the air when you hold L2. So it added on more. So it's like you can't really judge this game off the first initial playthrough or like your first couple of hours in the game. You got to wait until you unlock stuff. So I don't want to judge the combat too much off of that because there's probably stuff because I still haven't beat the game. Every Tales game, I'll just say this. There's a point in the game where you think you beat the game, like you go and fight the big boss. It's never the end. It's every Tales game done that, and I've already reached that point in this game where you think you beat the game. Like I beat the big boss. That was the bad guy. That was messing with us this whole time. It's not the end of the game. Every Tales game does this. So if you play a Tales game and you think you're about to beat the game, I promise you are not. It is a ruse every time. The combat is great. The characters are great. Story is great. It's a great game. I just have issues with it because I played, previous Tales games. So I still have a little issues. I don't feel like it really justifies not having multiplayer. And I mean, I don't even need to have the online multiplayer, but just having the ability of somebody else controlling the other characters would be so great because if you want to play like the healer or something, because you're the main character, I feel like the AI is always attacking you. So I feel like I can't play the healer because they're going to go for me, and I can't support my team and attack at the same time because they're going to go for me because I'm the human. But I could play like just a regular attack character that doesn't have to support or heal or anything. No problem, because that's all he does is run in there and attack. So, I mean, I feel like if I had another person that can control another character and they could be the healer and support, that would be great. Because, I mean, they already limited healing with having a specific amount of healing for everybody, and everybody shares that one gauge for your healing. So I felt like it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but I digress. But honestly, I swear to God, if I play Ratchet and Clank, if Ratchet and Clank is just more Ratchet and Clank, it would be number 5. At least it would be in the top 5. I promise you not. Well, when I play that game, I'm probably gonna come back and be like, "Fuck, man! I wish I played that game, so I gotta put it in this list." But it's not, sadly. But anyways, that's my number 5. Tales of Arise, great game. You should definitely play it.
All right. Well, we might see a little bit of Ratchet and Clank next year in 2023.
You mean this year?
No, 2023.
Oh, right, next year.
Yeah. But okay, so that's your top 5. My top 5 is Halo
number
Infinite.
5.
Halo Infinite.
Oh, Halo Infinite.
Yeah, what do you thought I said?
Heldy fuck?
Heldy fuck.
Heldy fuck? I was
Heldy
like,
fuck. Shit. I don't know what that game is, but Halo Infinite. Now, I heard a lot of good things about. I never played the story, so it's one of those games you have to. The story is a full price game, but the multiplayer is free, which is a pretty awesome way to release a game, right? And this game was like not even in anyone's radar. It's just released just by itself, like,
right.
So just play. So when the multiplayer came out, everything was like really good and dandy. Like the fucking the combat, the play style, like everything about Halo that make things Halo, like, it's back again. Like, it felt like the Halo 1 and 2 days. Like, that's what I thought it was when I was playing multiplayer. Even though if you play enough of it, you're going to get bored. But like, if you play every now and then with your friends and whatnot, it's a pretty enjoyable game. Versus other games that released this year. So Halo Infinite really made a mark in the multiplayer franchise of that year. Because like what you had Horrid, Call of Duty, Vanguard, then you had Battlefield 2042. There was a bunch of glitches and shit. This doesn't have any glitches, surprisingly. I thought this would have like a lot of glitches. I thought it would have a lot of problems. I thought like some guns were going to get nerfed, right?
Right.
Like nothing is nerfed. It's back to its old roots. Everything as what it should be. Yeah. They actually listen to the public.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like I was talking about Tales multiplayer at the couch co-op and LAN parties, because that's what we used to do. We used to play Halo with LAN parties where you would link up your Xbox with other people in the house. And so we had one team in one room and one team in the other room. And I remember because we used to go with Karam and his friends Sukino and Ilio's with us. I think Ilio was with us, but I'm not sure. But yeah, like you would, like, you know, Karam would snipe somebody, and you would hear somebody in the other room go "fuck." that shit's great. You don't get that shit anymore. I mean, it's online, so it's like you kind of hear what the person says, but I think most of the times you can only hear your teammates. You can't hear the other people on the other side because that would just be too much chatter and back and forth. But yeah, from what I've seen, the multiplayer was free, right? Like you could download it, was free.
Yeah, it was free.
It just looked like more good Halo, and Halo's multiplayer has always been good. Like even back in the days where I was kind of playing shooters, Halo multiplayer and Unreal Tournament was like, I loved that shit. I would watch people play that shit for hours. It just never got old.
Yeah. So that's all multiplayer, right? Single player is again it's back to its roots, and you have like a open. It's very open than you might realize in the older Halo games, right? It's very open where you can go to certain places, but it seems frowned upon at first, but when you actually play it, it's just like, oh shit, this is actually kind of fun. Like people do some like neat tricks going from one map to another, which is kind of funny. People make some like really cool clips. And from what I've heard, the story in Halo Infinite is phenomenal. So that's another plus. I still need to finish the story, but like it's really fun so far. Like the most exciting thing when it comes to Halo Infinite is the grappling in that game. It feels so right. They got it right. And they never played with the grapple before, so I'm like really surprised. Like, oh shit. I feel like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff when it comes to the grappling. I mean, you could grapple weapons. I've seen people grab onto like the ghosts in the air and like literally fighting each other to get the ghosts. It's just, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's really good. And of course, using it just for like traversal.
Yeah.
Like kill somebody and just grapple out of there like I'm Batman.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much my fifth Halo Infinite.
Yeah, Halo Infinite gives me hope for first-person shooters because God, they've been awful. I mean, that's for me personally. I mean, some of them are good, but I just really fell off of it. But looking at Halo Infinite, if I don't know, if somebody was like, "Hey, yo, group of us are gonna play Infinite for the first time. You want to play?" I'm like, "Sure, it's free, whatever. I'll try it."
And I forgot to mention that they have a whole battle pass system, which is kind of.
No, never mind. You've already lost me.
But
battle
like,
pass. No.
Like the colors and whatnot you can make, though, I feel like is really cool.
Like fucking blue.
But making your character unique is really nice.
Yeah, I want to make my character fucking blue.
Yeah, that's what pretty much everyone else did. All right. So, what's your number 4?
Number 4 for me. All right. So, number 4. I'm surprised this game is on this list, but it's so good I have to put it on here. Miitopia.
Oh yeah.
Oh my fucking god. I had so much fun playing Miitopia. Miitopia is so good because you have the little character creator system and like you have the story, but all the characters are technically faceless and nameless. And you fill in those characters for your story. So it's like if you have people that are really good at making avatars, you can make avatars of like popular characters. Like you could have the main villain be Batman if you wanted to, it's just like anything you could think of. You know, Aang, freaking Peter Griffin from Family Guy, like anything. If you could make the character, you could put them in the game and make them a part of the story. And I mean, of course, you can also just do your friends, which is what I did. But oh, that playthrough was so fun because it's just like, you know, it's an opportunity to do like the voice acting for the characters, and if you had your friends playing their characters and voice acting those characters on top of that, it's so good. So yeah, Miitopia is an RPG for Mii characters, and Mii characters are like little custom made characters for well, it's for the Switch, but Mii's have been in Nintendo game products since the Wii? Yeah, since the Wii. So since Nintendo Wii, Mii's have existed. And you don't often get too many Mii games. Like you had like the bowling and the swordplay games on those old consoles, which I love. At me. Fight me in some Wii swordplay, bro. I love that game.
Swordplay? What do you mean?
I love that game. But we're talking about Miitopia, anyways.
Swordplay. What you been doing with swordplay, man?
I'm very good at swordplay, bro.
Swordplay.
Don't have me.
Swordplay with the guys, man. That's what
you do. Anybody who want it, boy. I don't care.
Damn.
I accept it all.
Oh, damn.
Anyway, Miitopia is an RPG. So it's like a turn-based RPG. And you have these classes, you know, you have your classic mage class, you have your sword warrior class, you have a thief class. Eventually you'll unlock classes like vampire and what is it, elf, I think, or something like that. But yeah, the classes are awesome. You're constantly leveling up, you're constantly getting more skills. It has way more than 3 skills. And you're constantly leveling up, getting more skills or stronger skills. You're constantly, as you're leveling, you unlock better armor you can put on. You can then, if you don't like the look of that, go and replace it with armor that you previously had, but you'll keep the stats. So you can like glamour it if you like the way an old armor looked, to continue to look like that. So it's like you had glamour. You know, you're constantly gearing up. Your characters had relations with each other, so as you like progress, your characters would become more friendly towards each other, or y'all would get into fights, and it would literally affect your fights in the game. So it's like if you were to fight an enemy and you and somebody else were beefing, they would literally get mad. And like sometimes they would go and like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm gonna attack the monster and like steal your turn and attack before you. And then they're like, sometimes they'll just straight up get mad and be like, oh, look at so and so over there showing off, and just straight up start throwing hands and start fighting each other.
What? Really? What the fuck?
Yeah, this was great. Also, if you were, you know, doing it the correct way and becoming friends with each other, you would get like other skills, like friendship skills. Like you had ability where you can share like candy with each other to heal, or you could block for somebody if they were gonna die. You know, there's like crazy stuff. And then even your characters, they had personalities that you chose. So if you had a character that was like courageous, they would have higher crits. They would, you know, it's just so in depth with like all these different things. Like I think my character ended up being like a lazy mage. So sometimes when he cast spells, he would slack off, and the spells would do half damage, but they would cost half of the MP cost. And then other times I would be motivated and my spells would do double damage, but they would cost double the MP cost. So it's like stuff like that could really change how all your characters play. God, it's such a good game. I don't even need to get into the story of that game. I did a full playthrough. It's on my YouTube channel. If you have not played it, go check it out. You might love it. You might love it. As I fucking love this game. I had to put it in my top 5. Um, yeah, it's number 4 for me.
All right, number 4. Number 4 for me. So I haven't finished this game. Actually, I just recently got this game, but I already know I'm gonna like this game.
Oh.
So my 4th game is Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy.
I thought you were about to say Marvel Avengers. I was
No,
like, huh?
no, that's not the best game, dude. Like, I don't know who created Marvel the Avengers, but they definitely made up for it with Marvel's Guardian of the Galaxy.
Oh, it was Square Enix, wasn't it?
Yeah, actually, yeah, no, it was Square Enix, yeah.
Yeah, they are very hit and miss.
Yeah, like the thing with it is that Guardian of the Galaxy was like very it's very different from Avengers, because Avengers is purely like, well, really how you control other characters is like you play online with people, right?
Yeah.
They got rid of that entirely in Guardians of the Galaxy, and it made sense, right?
Yeah,
like,
make it a single player focus.
Single player focus. Like, dude, like when I'm playing this game, I felt like okay, hold on. There in the game, there's a combo system in it. So like you can, by doing like certain things together, you are comboing. So like, let's say like you're the main character. You're a Star-Lord, right? And you're like shooting people and whatnot. You're doing like neat little tricks. Like, and as you level up, you do like other cool tricks, like where you just go on your jet boots and shoot people, and you get this combo system up. You keep on raking up. It's like you're I forgot what like the actual names of them, like, but let's say like you're like E, D, C, B, A, S, double S, triple S. Yeah, I felt like I was playing Devil May Cry.
Yeah, like Devil May Cry, yeah, with
right,
the grading system.
Exactly. I thought I was playing Devil May Cry, but it's like it's Guardian of the Galaxy instead, where your combo system really depends on how can you combo with other players.
With your other teammates.
Yeah, with your other teammates, which is so it's like it's a good idea. It's a really good idea. Because that's how it is in the comics, and also in like the movies. Like, they combo with each other. They have a unique synergy, and having that synergy is so good. And you feel very like connected with your with the other characters. Like you have Rocket, right? The in there they said like his code name is like not a raccoon, which like I thought was like really funny, because he hates being called a raccoon, right?
Yeah, he hates that.
And then you have I am Groot. Like, literally, he is the coolest person because he talks, right? And like he actually says stuff, but only is repeated by like Rocket, because Rocket only knows. Yeah, Rocket understands him, and so when you're like seeing all this and like hearing it, it's like, oh, okay, man, fucking Groot is a fucking smart guy. Like, holy shit. like you start to connect the pieces and shit, and then you have Drax, and like how Drax act is true to the comic books, where he take things so literally.
Oh,
right?
literally. Drax is my favorite character of Guardians of the Galaxy. He is my favorite. I love him.
Like fucking Peter say like, yeah, let's do this and take him head on. And he said, why would I use my head instead of use my hands? I'm like, oh my god, dude. What the fuck? I was like, oh my. And he's just so serious too. It's so funny. It's so funny. And then you have fucking Ganora?
Yeah, Granora.
Ganora. Yeah, like she she's like she have some more like funny side to her, but it's more of like a cocky type of thing. It's like yeah, I'm like the. She doesn't
Gamora.
actively say it. Yeah, Gamora. Like she doesn't actually say it, but like she say, yeah, I know, I'm the deadliest female assassin in the galaxy or some shit, like. And it actually shows like her skills. It's like really, really amazing and very damaging, just like Drax. And like I've really enjoyed just going through the story around with everybody in the like everybody in the team, like because you have certain story for each character. Like for like one for example, it was like in the very beginning of the game. Like I feel like I can talk a little bit about it, but like so there's this mission you had to do and whatnot. It was kind of a serious mission, like capture mission, right? And throughout the mission, you see like these little spores around, and you have to shoot them. You had to shoot one down to like fucking get passed through, and a whole bunch of bugs just drop out of the sky, and you're with Groot and Rocket, and they say, this is disgusting. What the fuck? Like why would anyone just decorate their house with fucking goo and shit, right? And like I felt like I was in the movie because at the moment he was like, Rocket was saying like, you know what? I bet I could make a game out of this, and they said. And he said, like, I bet like 5. I forgot what the currency was, but 5 quits that I can fucking destroy more fucking nests than you, right? And it's like a complete side story, a side mission that you can do if you want to, in a main mission. And so like you're going through the main mission, you trying to find and capture this item, and out of nowhere, like Grok could say, "Hey, look at that, building over there. That looks very important." And then shoot behind you like a nest, and it's like, "What the fuck?" Like in real life, I'm like, "What the fuck? Wait, no, that's not fair." It's like, "Yeah, man, I can do that." Yeah, and so we're like battling each other while trying to find this mission, and it kind of takes you out of it, but also I felt like I was really with Rocket. The story, like the character development is there, very beginning of the game. I'm like, holy shit, this is really good, right? So there's that, and then also there's certain like there's also certain like character development. For example, your words matter, and it can directly influence the game itself. And it doesn't feel like I'm going. It doesn't feel like a fake scenario, like Cyberpunk, right? Like you can pick these 3. And then if you pick one, then it's totally different. Like, no, this is totally different. Like, you can help this one person by saying a lot of words. And it happens in the very beginning of the act. So there's a lot of branches that you can just branch off from it. So, like, very beginning of an act, you help this one guy. If you say the right words and support that person, then you get a key for them. From them to progress through another story at some other part of the game. Like your choices matter. And I'm like thinking like, oh shit. I wasn't thinking it myself. Like, oh my, that's kind of cool. Like this should be like an obvious thing, but this is not in many RPGs. Like in Cyberpunk for all games, like I'm going back in my head, like this is the same studio that created fucking Marvel Avengers,
Yeah.
What?
Well, I don't know if it's the same exact studio.
No,
I mean,
okay, yeah, it's not the same exact studio, but it's Square Enix,
yeah.
and they helped made Marvel Avengers, but Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy is way better. It's actually worth the price.
I mean, they just got better at it, I guess.
Well, I was like certainly amazed. I can't wait to like finish the rest of the game. Like honestly, this is the last part. Then we can move on. So when you're fighting and whatnot, and let's say that people start to die left and right and whatnot, you can like revive them. But let's say that you couldn't revive them, and all you guys died. Okay. When all you guys die, you can. If you have a special bar, and if that special bar is full, you can huddle up, and it's a feature where, like, literally, it's like like they throw you into like some type of football huddle up, where each character or each character like talking to Star-Lord saying like, oh, there's too many of them, we can't do it. Oh, this is impossible. How are you supposed to do this? And then Star-Lord, like, you get to pick Star-Lord what he's going to say to each character, and based on that depends on like it'll start it'll revive them and give them buffs based on what you gave them. Okay. And if you inspire them so much, they can like definitely like, you know. They could do whatever. They become powerful, and sometimes they don't. If you don't actually do that, but it's like a really cool scene that I would never expect from a game like this, and it was very comic booky. Like oh, let's all huddle up, blase. So yeah. I'm really enjoying this game. I can't wait to finish it. So that's my number 4.
All right, on to number 3. So my number 3 best game of 2021 is Endwalker. What's yours?
Endwalker.
Was your number 3 also Endwalker?
Yes, it was.
Okay, we don't even need to talk about this. All right, number 2.
We're just skipping it entirely. We'll be here all day.
We've had whole videos about Endwalker. We don't need to talk about why it's good. If you watch, you know the game is. Or you play, you know this shit is amazing. Man. So yeah, number 2.
What's your number 2?
My number 2, best game of 2021 is Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Wait, really?
I know you was gonna say that.
That's mine too.
What?
I guess we gotta skip that one.
So, Shin Megami Tensei 5. Okay, so this game, they announced it, and I was just like, man, they taking forever. They're not showing anything. And then once they got closer to the game, they showed way too much, and I had to media blackout, no more videos, because I'm like, I know this game's not gonna have much story. Like, I want to know what happens when it happens. I don't want to be like, oh, this is the part that happened in that one trailer. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is an RPG from Atlas, so it's usually compared to the Persona series because most people who played an Atlas game probably only played Persona 5 and they never played any of the other games. No Shin Megami or Persona or Devil Summon. They played nothing. They only played Persona 5, so everything is compared to Persona 5. It's annoying. Shin Megami Tensei 5 is fucking amazing. It is without words. I cannot describe how much I love this game. I guess I can say, as of right now, I am on my 5th playthrough of the game. So you can say I've put in quite a bit of time for this game. It's a turn-based RPG, if you didn't know, where you have demons, and these demons you have to you fight these demons, and you can also convince these demons to join your party. And you can also unlock this ability to fuse the demons together. And once you unlock the fusion, you can fuse them to make stronger demons. And this is where the customization comes in. So you're making demons of, with abilities that they normally couldn't get, because you're carrying over those traits and those abilities from other demons to the new demons. But I put 166 hours into this game. Yeah, that's not much, but yeah, I've on playthrough number 5 now. Shin Megami Tensei 5. Oh my god, I fucking love this game. I don't really want to talk about the story, but there are multiple endings, so that's the reason why it only takes 4 to get them all, if you know what you're going for. But I'm on my 5th playthrough. Oh yeah, the DLC boss is stupid busted Demi Fiend. He's one of the most OP bosses in Atlas. I wish they had put him in Persona 5, and then maybe they would give Nocturne more respect. But they didn't. So I still haven't beat him. With 5 playthroughs, I have still not beaten him. That's how hard this boss is. Like, it's probably the hardest boss I've seen in an RPG in my life. He is so ridiculous. But eventually I'll beat him and put my playthrough up, and then I'll show you how ridiculous he actually is. But if you play the game, play it all hard. If you don't, you're a pussy. All right, that's my number 2.
Wow. Okay. My number 2 of the top of the best game of 2021 for me is Shin Megami Tensei 5.
You're lying. Shut up. What's your number 2?
What, dude? It's Demon Souls. It's Demon Souls.
Demon Souls?
Yeah, on the PS5.
Right. Tell me about Demon Souls.
Alright, so Demon Souls is a Souls-like game, but it's not created by From Software. It's a remake of Demon Souls, the PS3 version of it. But it was remade by Blue. I think it was Blue Point or Blue.
Yeah, Blue Point. Blue Point Games.
Yeah, Blue Point Games. Basically, you're a I forgot what the actual term called, but you're pretty much undead, and you're going around trying to solve the mysteries of what happened in this world, and eventually you would come across these demons that have like glowing eyes, and it seeps like steam from their eyes to create like a fog of a world that used to be like full of life, but now just like nothing in the world, because all the demons ate everybody's souls and whatnot. So you're going around trying, you're killing bosses by bosses, collecting their souls to kill the main boss, hopefully to resort the world that what it once was. The whole thing of Demon Souls is that if you die, you lose a part of yourself. You lose the souls. You lose your not levels, but you lose souls that could potentially build your level.
Right.
The art direction, like the graphics, is so good. Like, I was amazed when seeing play through this game. I was like, oh my god, I have to get this game, even though it's like a $75 game. I said I had to get this game, and boy, oh my gosh, I don't know if you like. If you know me, you know I love my Souls games.
Yeah.
And Demon Souls definitely did a number to me. I'm like, oh my god, I'm I was like sweating through the whole thing. I fucking screamed. Not a lot of games make me scream. Mostly Soulborn games make me scream. You remember the spiders from Bloodborne?
Smash.
What? Oh yeah, Smash too. Yeah. I mean, you be cheating in fucking Smash, man. I swear.
Right, this must have been this man. I still think about that meme with the girl that fell over, the Japanese girl, and she goes, that had to have been Zero's main.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that has to be Zero main. Oh god, but yeah, like I thoroughly enjoyed playing that game. Even though it was just a remake, I know pretty much everything you need to do in that game, but just experiencing that again, like on the tight graphics, like they got everything right but better. Like it's pretty much they like remade, like of course, yeah, they remade the game.
Yeah, it's a remake.
But I wasn't expecting to be like so tight and clean, because you have certain things inside the game, the PS3 game mainly, that you have certain limitations. So, for example, you would, let's say, go and heal and drink. You have to stand still for that. I don't know why they put it in the game, but you had to. And so I was like, okay, well, you know, this is kind of shitty. Like, this is going to be horrible. Well, when they put it in the game again, you don't. Actually, they never put it in the game. Like it's not. You don't stand still. You can walk with this, like it's Dark Souls 3, but it makes everything fast paced now. So it feels like a different game, but in the same time, it feels like really, it feels really fresh, very very fast paced and fresh. So, yeah, that's my second game of the year
for 2021.
2021.
Wow.
Not this year,
that game came out in 2020.
No, it didn't.
But I was gonna let you finish. Right? That's where we are.
I'm so upset. You fact checked me too.
So number one.
You fact checked me. I said this is over. All right. See you guys later.
It's not over. You gotta do number one. All right. So number one for the best games of 2021 for me will be Returnal.
Yeah, I knew it.
Oh yes, this fucking game. Again, I've done the full playthrough. You can check it out on my YouTube. This game is so fucking good. Fuck. So I don't really play shooters, right? So Returnal is a third-person shooter, but it has like these like kind of horror elements to it. But then you also have these really crazy, wacky guns and crazy enemies that pretty much have like spread shouts like it's a fucking bullet hell game. So you're like dodging attacks like it's a bullet hell, but it's like a third-person shooter. Oh, it's so good. And then you die. Dying is like part of the game. And I haven't seen many games really just implement that. I mean, there are games that do it, but the way Returnal did it is so good. Like, it literally explains why you're pretty much stuck in this loop. This loop of dying and coming back to where you are. Like, you wake up and you go through the same thing that puts you on this desert planet, and you know, it's just a constant loop. It's so good. and then eventually you beat the first stage and you get to the second stage, and the game gets harder. Like this shit ramps up on you. So it's like you gotta get a good weapon, get some good mods on that weapon, and know how to fucking use it, know how to beat the bosses. I'm just thinking about going back to playing it right now. Like goddamn, so good. Um, the boss battles, the enemies, all the stages are very unique. The game's atmosphere is very ominous, like on the first stage, and you go through and you beat the boss at the end. You end up back at the beginning again, but the stage is different. But it's just like, I'm still here. Like you thought you broke the loop, but you didn't, and you end up back on the first stage again, but the stage is different. And like there's different enemies there. You are constantly unlocking different weapons and stuff. You eventually get this melee weapon. You get this dash mechanic that allows you to dash through certain attacks. It's just so good. I just can't, like, this is a game you can't really describe with words. You have to play this shit. I mean, yeah, it's a roguelike, but I'm just saying, like, I don't like roguelikes. I don't like the idea of progressing in a game and every time my progression is reset every time I die, or every time I cut the game off and cut it back on. I have to start over from... I don't like that. I play RPGs. Can you imagine playing an RPG and like that shit resets every time you die or go back? Like, I would hate that shit.
Well, I feel like they put all in one, like RPG and like well, okay, not like an actual RPG, but like the role playing is in it, because they made the dying mechanic actual lore in the game, where every other roguelike is not like that, where it's just you're resetting. But why have to reset? Well, no, you just have to reset because it's a roguelike. No, this one's saying is that you have to reset because you died, but that was just a dream.
No, it's actually part of it. It's part of the story, and as you progress, you find the remnants of your dead past selves. You run into your other dead bodies.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it's like you run into these logs, and then like you hear yourself. It's your past self from another life that pretty much died, and she'll be talking about like, I got here and things are crazy, and she starts to go crazy, and she starts thinking about the past. Like, you run into past selves, and there was a point where like you ended up killing yourself because you were going crazy. All this crazy shit. There's another point in the game where you get to this house, and this I don't know, that house atmosphere is so fucking spooky. It felt like PT when you enter that house. It's like the whole game just like, all right, you were the third person shooter, now you're in first person, and you're going through this very dark, spooky house. And I'm just like, fuck me. I do not want to go up them stairs. But yeah, there's so much stuff that happens through multiple playthroughs. Eventually you find out that the reason why you got trapped on the planet, because you were flying your ship in an area that you weren't supposed to be, because you got this you heard this signal. There was a sign, somebody needed help. There's a warning sign they were sending out in the world, and you got this signal, and you go over the planet, and instead of landing, you get shot down, but you didn't know that you got shot down. Apparently, you shot yourself down. So a previous you that is there on that planet shot yourself down and put you on the planet to begin with.
Yeah, that's mindfuckery. that is mindfuckery.
It's just like, what? Like, so many things happen in this game that just made me go, oh my fucking god. And like, even me saying that was a big revelation, right? There's still many other crazy scenes and just trying to figure out what the story is. And there are certain like movies and games that try to do that. They try to make the story very ambiguous in the beginning, and you don't really know why you're doing the things you're doing, and they want to reveal it as you go on. But a lot of games don't do it well, so a lot of times you just don't care, and you're just like going through and you're just like, I don't even know why I'm doing this, I'm just killing shit, I'm just pressing buttons. But that game, I cared. Like, something about it, I cared about what's going on. Why am I here? Why every time I die, I end up back in the same place in this constant loop? And it makes you want to progress further. And you progress further, and you beat that boss, and you get to the second area, you die, and you're like, fuck. And you go back to the start, and it's like, I'm getting closer to figuring out. And you keep unlocking more and more scenes with the house, and you figure out, like, oh, there's this kid, and like, what the different names mean, what the name of her ship means, all this type of stuff. I'm not gonna give it all away. But yeah, I beat that game. They've added more to it. They've actually added a ability to save the game, because before you couldn't save the game. So you would have, if you play that game, you would have, if you played a roguelike, you know it's long. So you usually have like 1 2 hour, 3 hour PlayStations for like one run would be like 3 hours. And it's 3 glorious hours. Oh my god. But yeah, Returnal. I never played a roguelike until Returnal. I don't really like roguelike because I just don't like the idea of having to reset every time. But that game is fucking amazing, and it is definitely the best game I have ever played or seen for 2021's release. And that's why it is my number one best game of 2021.
Alright. Returnal. I played a little bit of it, but I need to... I only play on my brother account.
Oh, you need to play more.
Yeah, I mean, like, I see the amusement of the game. And
yeah.
I'm like, huh. Like, how this is actually... Like, because, you know, I'm a lore person, so... If it have lore in it, like, dude, sign me in.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, my top best game of 2021 is Breathedge.
What?
Breathedge.
I don't even know what that is.
I explained it to you last time, but
did you?
Yeah, I did, because I was playing a lot of it. Like in the year 2021. So Breathedge is one is an indie game. Okay. It was really hard making this list, right? Of trying to get the best games, like the games that I usually play a lot. And 2021 for me wasn't really like the best year.
It wasn't the best year for anybody, especially when it comes to games. Not many games came out, so it was kind of... Yeah, like, even if you look at the Game Awards, you see like best games of the year. A lot of those games, I was like, I don't know if this should even be on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so Breathedge is pretty much, it's a space exploration, crafting, gathering, and survival type of game.
Okay.
So,
so kind of like No Man's Sky?
No, definitely not. I would say, like, in terms of gathering and maybe crafting, but like not so much. So let me explain it. So you're basically in a ship and you're going to a different planet. It's like a Andromeda type of feel or something like that, right? It's an Andromeda type of feel. I haven't finished the game yet because there's so much things to do. You're trying to go there. You have you're in your cockpit or whatnot, and you're with your your pet chicken or some shit like that. Like it's like a really type of funny game. So
Chicken, all right.
And so you guys are warp driving, and out of nowhere, like an asteroid came up right across your face, and so like your whole entire ship, your armada, is start breaking apart, like everything getting destroyed and everything. And until you wake up in your own room again, where outside is just space, endless space, but your whole aircraft is like broken into pieces into different sections, and you're trying to find your way, survive and find a way out of here, right? There have to be some type of survivors and whatnot. So you went. So basically, it starts off from there, and from certain sections, you have to reach the point A, or you have to reach the point B, and between these spots, you have to upgrade your spacesuit in order to withstand the radiation that's around you.
The objective.
To endure the radiation around you. So, like,
right.
there's like these funny moments when you find like what you call it, a piece of ship where like somebody died in it, and they were like strapped to a bed, like it was supposed to be a sex dungeon or some shit, and you need like their cuffs to make something else. It's like really absurd how you get these materials, but it was very amusing the whole way through, and you have your AI to just keep you company and whatnot. And there's some moments too where you have like your quote unquote girlfriend, but that girlfriend is pretty much a catfish trying to kill you, and so they text you all the time like, "Oh, I hope you don't taste the like." I said, "Oh, I hope you taste electricity. It tastes like candy." Blase, blase. And some alien out there trying to kill you, and you're trying to figure out who that person is or some shit.
Electricity tastes like candy. Okay.
Yeah, it does. Apparently, but it's one of those games you really do have to like. Yeah, you really have to search for it. I really searched for it. Like I was like one day going through Steam, looking at games where I can play, and it said this game is like a crafting and survival. I'm like, well, I like space, and I do like crafting survival, like Minecraft, right?
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try, and I'm so glad I did give it a try, because it was practically that saved my year of like games, because I played so much. You can create anything really, and create your own base in space, like next to these rockets, next to the like literally next to a sun that got split in half or some shit about to blow up, but I can build my house in it and some shit like that. Like it's the all the things you can think of is really fantastic. And then of course the combat is quite interesting too. So the whole premise of why your ship got destroyed is because this AI is trying to grab something from your ship, and apparently just to get it they need to destroy your whole entire ship for it. Like, why not, right? It's like, oh, these are just humans, right?
Yeah.
And so there's actually a reason, and once you figure out what these AIs are, there's a reason why they want to kill you, right? They get powered by decomposing humans.
Five.
So that's their battery.
See.
So we created them, and in order for them to like still exist, they need dead human bodies to energize their to energize a coffin, which energized the AI. And so when you figure this out further in the story, you see battles of humans and coffin-sized humans like trying to kill each other. But these coffin-sized humans are like actual AIs, like robots that want to fucking kill you. Like you know, you're my food. I need to kill you or some shit. It becomes like very interesting in terms of like lore. I still need to finish the game, but I really enjoyed Breathedge and this is like the best game I played in 2021. I thought I'd talk to you about this.
Yeah, no, you talked to me about it a bit while you were playing it, but you were just saying like, "Oh yeah, this shit happened," and I was just like, "What?" Like you were just saying random shit that happened in the game, and I'm just like, "Huh?" And you're like, yeah, this game I'm playing. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, because
it's like, yeah, you didn't really talk to me about the game. Well, technically you talked to me about the game, but you never really introduced me to the actual game.
It was very weird. Because the thing is that there's a lot of weird things inside the game itself. Like for some odd reason, they give you the action to pee, and so you can literally press a button and a stream of piss goes out of your spacesuit. But you can't. But if you do this in space, you slowly suffocate, which makes sense because your dick is out in the space. So it's like, why do you have this? And apparently you have that because there's moments where you might, you might be like really, really hot, and you need to cool yourself down. And so taking a piss is cooling yourself down.
Oh yeah, I'm hot, all right.
So, I really enjoyed the game. I feel like everyone should play this game. Yeah. That's wrap things about up, huh?
All right, yeah, I think that wraps things up. That was our top 5 games of 2021. Oh, the best games of 2021.
Yeah, our best games. I want to say everyone's best games, but our best games.
Yeah, our best games.
It's funny. It's funny how that this session was like an hour and 9 minutes, and then.
Come on. Fucking hell.
I was hearing her in the background, to be honest with you.
It's killing me.
But yeah, I was seeing I was saying that like last session we were like 2 hours and like 20 minutes or some shit like that, and now we're like an hour and like 10 minutes. How crazy is it to just talk about the shittiest game versus talking the best games?
Well, yeah, because we had to fucking rant, and I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know how the fuck it's possible that our number 3 were the same games.
Yeah, it was. Apparently, I mean, like, we couldn't put it as the best game. We couldn't put it as the. We couldn't put it as the top of the best games. Can't put it in the lowest of the best games.
Right.
So I was like, you know what, 3 is good.
I guess we just thought it. Just so y'all know, we didn't tell each other what our games were.
No.
So it was like that was just all coincidence.
Yeah, I can't believe we got 2 for like SMT5 too. That's crazy. All right. Now, well, let's end the podcast. All right, I'll see you guys later.
Yes, thanks for watching. Go watch our other videos. Oh yeah, and put in the comments below what were your top 5 best games of 2021.
Yes, please do. All right, until the next time. Bye.
Later.
Such devastation. This was not my intention.
Bye.